All right, guys, so I'm gonna walk you through my favorite cues whenever I'm doing a barbell bent over row that really allows you to position yourself the best and make sure that you can get the most range of motion within this movement as a whole. So the biggest thing that you wanna do is you wanna make sure that you're bending over, right? So a lot of people will do a barbell row right about here, getting very, very short range of motion. What we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna drive the hips back, keep them high, and we're gonna be very parallel with the ground. You're gonna notice my spine is neutral. The only thing that's gonna roll forward is gonna be my shoulders, just so I can get a little bit more range of motion. But other than that, everything's gonna stay in position, and I'm gonna drive up, right? So the way I like to look at it when I'm getting into this movement, first and foremost is my leg positioning, right? What we're gonna wanna do here is we're gonna wanna build torque. So when we're doing the squat, we pretty much pretend like we're breaking the ground apart, and what that does is that shifts our knees outward, right? So if you see me create some torque, you can see my knees go out. This right here is gonna give me a little bit more of a pocket, and it's gonna allow me to really drive my hips back and get into that, parallel position with the ground, right? So this is pretty much what it's gonna look like. So first and foremost, gonna get in position, foot placement's good. I'm driving those hips back. Now I'm very stable, right? I'm not wobbly, everything's good, back is neutral, everything's in position. From here, I'm gonna also wanna use the 25-pound plates, right? Reason why we use the 25-pound plates is because it allows us to get a bigger stretch. If we're using 45s, we're going to touch the ground before we even get that full stretch at the bottom. So I always recommend the 25-pound plates on this. From here, I'm gonna get position now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come up, really engage my back, drive those hips back, stay very neutral. From here, I'm ready to row. And you're gonna notice my hips stay high. I don't bring them in like this. The reason why I'm not sitting like this, my knees shift forward, and I see a lot of people hitting their knees or having to kind of go around their knees to get this movement in. If you keep your hips higher, what that's gonna allow you to do is it's gonna allow you to move your knees out of the way and really row up and get as much engagement as possible. You always wanna think of driving with your elbows and just contracting as much as you can at the top, letting those elbows or letting those shoulders roll forward at the end, just so you can increase that range of motion. And that pretty much right there breaks down the barbell bent over row.